Hey, I'm Vinnie Brand.
Hi, I'm Vicki Brand.
It's Tuesday night, so you're here with us.
It's Tuesday afternoon. Welcome.
This is a different podcast today. We're going to talk about things that are totally off. This is going to be a fun podcast because I'm going to get the vent.
Yeah. Venting Vinnie. That's your new name, Venting Vinnie.
I love it. Here we go. Let's do it. Today's podcast brought to you by our sponsor, Misunderstood Ginger Spiced Whiskey. Come here to the club. Order the Gold Rush. The Gold Rush is the greatest drink ever.
Oh, I love the Gold Rush.
Yeah, go to Vicki. Not a whiskey drinker, right? Vicki, not a whiskey drinker. Yeah, look how pretty she looks with the bottle. Okay.
Yum.
You can look this pretty too if you have the bottle. And I have to tell you something. These guys developed this right in North Jersey.
That's really amazing.
And now it's going nationwide. Get it here. We have 3 new drinks coming out with Misunderstood Whiskey this week at the restaurant and the comedy club. Misunderstood Whiskey, our podcast partner. Thank you so much for watching. Let's do the show. My appointment's at 2.
Did they tell you to get there? Okay, let's back up. Vinnie has a 2 o'clock doctor's appointment. Did they tell you to get there at 1:45?
Yeah, but why?
Now, did they squeeze you in today?
Yeah.
They squeezed you in when you didn't have an appointment.
I'm going to be there.
They bent over backwards because she's super booked.
I don't think it was backwards.
No, because I tried.
She bent over. No. She bent over. I give it in. It wasn't backwards. Someone's going to cancel anyway. People are irresponsible. No, people are totally irresponsible. Some jackass will go long or someone will cancel.
No, or some jackout will show up late.
No, I will not be late. I'll bet you anything you want I won't be late.
There's no way you can physically get there on time.
I'm going to do this podcast.
You're going to get off at exit, what, 109?
I already got this figured out. I'm going to ask Derek to get my truck out. So when I'm done, I'm jumping in my truck. There'll be no time wasted. No time wasted.
So I just want everyone
can you get Derek for me, please? So you don't have to utilize personnel.
Yeah. I just want to point out that you think that your shower only takes 3 minutes when in actuality it takes
Maddie
20 minutes. Who?
Maddie. Maddie was home. She said to me, Dad, that was a fast shower.
Oh.
I don't.
I'm clapping you out. I'm clapping you out because today was actually fast.
And I shaved and everything. So anyway, let's not talk about how I might or may not be late. I'm not going to be late. I'm going to be there on time. I'm going to walk out the door.
So why don't you tell everyone why you're going to the doctor's?
Because I have a medical condition.
You have a medical condition.
Why do I have to tell them?
Well, because you got bit by something. And,
I get bit by the love bug.
Yeah. Oh, that's very loud over there.
What's that noise I hear in the back?
That's
customers.
Derek.
Customers.
All right, Derek.
Yes.
Come on. Derek, can I have you a favor? I have to go to the doctor. All right. Because I have a situation developing. And I have to get to the doctor. Now, my truck is parked.
Transitioning? That's good.
No, wait, you're in the way of the cameras.
I didn't know I was going to be on camera.
You're on camera.
I don't want to be on camera.
You shouldn't want to be on camera.
Permission first.
So listen, would you, in 15 minutes, get my truck so I can walk? Because I'm going to be late, Vicki thinks. But I'm going to have to jump on my truck in the front and just...
Yes, boss.
Right. Now, Derek.
Feet don't fail me now.
Now, my little car did the thing.
Okay.
And if you go in, I'm at the second. I parked the wrong way. You'll see me. You can't miss it.
I know.
And you go
the
in.
rules don't apply.
No. Well, Trooper Vinnie.
Yeah, Trooper Vinnie.
I am a trooper. I'm a trooper.
For as many years, he's
I'm a trooper
by now.
Why haven't they poured the concrete yet?
Maybe it's because they were chipping it away with a hammer instead of a hammer jack.
If I'm not here, nothing happens right. Everything is critical. Well, Derek got that light. They look great.
They look fantastic. I love that look.
I have them too.
I love the new lights. We got new lights over the bar, and Derek put them up.
What are we talking about? Peter sent notes. I didn't chance to read them.
I actually can't open the notes.
What?
I couldn't open the notes.
Well, listen, we wouldn't have been able to do it justice.
No.
We're going to be in such a rush here anyway. I don't think you can hear that. Can you hear that in the background? If you hear that, that's just people here at the restaurant. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter anyway. So what's on your agenda? What are you going to talk about?
Well, so Sophia raised a good point about the Canadian wildfires, about talking about those last week. That was a huge thing that happened.
Huge, but we talked about it last week.
No, we didn't. We did a video afterwards. The Canadian wildfires happened after the podcast.
Well, Canadian wildfires are crazy. And what I find most distressful is how bad Joe Biden is dropping the ball. That smoke was allowed to cross the border unimpeded, came right down here, smoked us out. We need border security.
Yeah. Border curtains.
Huh?
Curtains, like border curtains.
Border curtains would work. Okay. Fans. It cracks me up is the Canadian wildfires are it's got to be a couple $100 million of lost woods and homes and things like that.
Oh, yeah.
And here we are in New Jersey going, this is inconvenient. It's just funny to me.
Oh, I know. School's closed.
School's closed. Listen, the government officials telling you to stay inside, it's becoming a thing now. It's becoming a thing. Stay inside. I think they really want us under control. I really believe that they are conditioning us to stay inside, ask no questions, right?
It reminds me of the movie. What was that? Was it Hunger Games or Divergent? Where they have all the homes. It's Divergent. Divergent, the series.
How much time do you have in your hands? I saw the Hunger Games. I didn't see Divergent. I
read the book.
Oh, that's a lot of time.
I read the books.
That's even more time on your hands.
It was a whole series.
So let me say this.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the reasons I'm going to the doctor, and you know this is true. How often did I get headaches? BV.
You really rarely ever got headaches, BV.
And BV, did I take aspirin?
No, you never took aspirin, BV.
I don't like taking medicine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm such a baby that when today's condition existed, I immediately broke into a cold sweat.
You did. You did.
Yeah.
You had me. You were sweating, and I had to feel your forehead, just like I would do with a toddler. And I said,
"Is that necessary?"
Yeah. Why don't you lay down, Vinnie? Why don't you lay down?
It bothered me, but BV, I never got headaches.
Right.
Never. Immediately after the vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
BV before vaccine.
Before vaccine.
The vaccine.
Before
the vaccine. Meaning, we all know which vaccine I'm talking about.
Right. Everybody knows.
Everybody knows. Can't say it. You get shut down.
Yeah.
But before vaccine, I never... BV. I never got headaches.
No, you didn't.
And now, any exercise at all, I get a headache.
Yeah, you do.
I had a headache this morning.
Mm-hmm.
I get headaches all the time now.
Yeah.
Now, the common wisdom could be, well, you're under a lot of stress. You're moving around a lot, blah, 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 blah. I've been that way my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
I never... Now, PV, post-vaccine.
Post-vaccine. Mm-hmm.
I get headaches every single... Now, you tell me there's not even a possibility, but here's the conspiracy. Here's what happens. In the world, if I were to say that publicly, like I just did,
mm-hmm.
someone out there will go, he's a moron, he's a Trumper, he's a MAGA. No, I get headaches every day now. There's a girl in Connecticut. She's suing the state of Connecticut.
I saw that.
Okay, because she had a race against girls that weren't
transgender girls. Transgender girls.
That was the same year our daughter was winning the state championship.
Mm-hmm.
And she didn't win the state championship. She came in third instead of first.
Mm-hmm.
And
not our daughter.
And
our daughter came in first for the winter.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so now,
just saying.
And now there are people are beating up on that girl.
Yeah.
Saying she's anti-trans. No, she's saying, listen, this wasn't fair to me.
Right.
But the conspiracy of information now.
Well, what they're saying is she's saying she missed out on scholarship opportunities. And people are saying, well, you still got a scholarship to William and Mary. But I mean, I think she means more scholarship opportunities. But
shouldn't she be able to sue just because she should have been number one?
Well, that's what I kind of think. Like the reasoning is the reason she's getting beat up is because she's saying she missed out on scholarship opportunities because transgenders beat her. But then they went back and said it's based on your time, not on your placement.
But that's not accurate. That's partially accurate.
Yes, partially accurate. And also the other thing is when these kids work so hard, as we know with our own daughter, they sacrifice a lot to get to that spot.
Yes. Sacrifice virtually your entire high school social life is sacrificed.
It is.
If you want to perform at a high level.
Yeah.
And let's be clear. We're not anti-trans.
No.
Not at all.
Mm-mm.
But my point wasn't even about trans or about the vaccine. It's about the conspiracy out there of information, which is if you say something,
right,
anything,
mm-hmm.
there's what I'm going to call groupthink bullying,
right,
that makes you feel stupid,
sure,
or ignorant or racist or homophobic. So I'm going to tell my doctor today, this is how I'm going to tell my doctor, I think I get headaches all day and it could be the vaccine. Here's how I'm going to say it. You don't think I'm nuts, right? Like I have to say it to her almost like
you don't have like a tin can on your head
right,
with the foil
right,
and the antenna sticking out like
right,
you saw aliens, which by the way, they think aliens really did land. Where was that, Noah?
So while they're looking that up, so there's this larger, right? So I'm encouraging people to say what's on their mind and don't let the conspiracy of information. So the number of people that think I'm the greatest comic in the world and they're afraid to say it.
Sure.
They're afraid to say it. They're afraid to just say Vinny's the greatest comic in the world. Don't be afraid to voice your opinion. It doesn't matter. Okay, you're not a tinfoil hat person.
No. Where was it?
Las Vegas.
Las Vegas. So, I mean, listen, if you're going to land somewhere, that's a great place to land.
Yeah, you wouldn't even be noticed.
No, you really wouldn't. We went to Las Vegas on a trip. It was Vinnie and myself. We went for Derek's birthday. Derek, his wife, Josephine, Patty, and Doug. Doug is Patty's significant other. And some of the cast of characters we saw in Vegas, you definitely would not notice if somebody landed.
And this ties right back to my thing about the conspiracy of quiet. That's what I'm naming it, the conspiracy of quiet. You keep your mouth shut, right? So you go to Vegas.
Right.
And the Vegas Strip where we went to, the old Strip, Vegas. You could walk around there. If you were a cop and you had 8,000 pairs of handcuffs, you could just start handcuffing random people. They're all guilty. All of them. All of them. The only people not guilty on that stretch were us. We were just, get us out of here. Because now the conspiracy of quiet is, they have a right. No, you don't have a right to do that with that thing you're doing. You don't have a right to do drugs in the street. The conspiracy of quiet. Look what's happening to San Francisco now. Because not enough business people were willing to say, this is unacceptable.
Right.
So instead what they're saying is, pulling up our roots and we're getting out. You have the laws.
Yeah, Whole Foods left San Francisco, right?
Whole Foods left.
Yeah.
I think Macy's or Nordstrom left.
Right.
There are tons of people fleeing San Francisco because the conspiracy of quiet, don't say out loud what everybody knows to be true.
Right.
We had we have a homeless guy here in New Brunswick, and he was doing bad things, and I said, you can't, not here. I chased him.
Yeah.
Go where those quiet people are, the ones that think this is okay. So yes, I don't know how I got on this, but yes.
Because you have headaches and you're going to see the doctor, and you have headaches, you're going to see the doctor, and you don't want to seem like a lunatoon.
Right. I don't want to seem like a lunatoon.
Yeah.
And, could it be the syphilis? I suppose it could be. So I was thinking about it more and more and more. That's the bigger, and
that is a big problem.
And what's amazing? It's not directed by any one thing. It's so big now, right? So Google doesn't know everything. Google knows those computers are all interconnected. Right. And so it's like a spider vein going out, spider web, and it's getting all this information. So this conspiracy of quiet isn't organized by a group.
Right.
It's not a group. It's a group think that says, shut up and don't speak your mind.
Right.
Especially if your mind disagrees with that person's mind. And what's interesting is no matter what side you're on right now. Okay. So Mr. Bean, his real name is, what's Mr. Bean's real name? Mr. Bean, Rowan Atkinson.
Yeah.
Okay. Came out and said that electric cars are not as good environmentally as we once thought. And that the mining of all the lithium, I guess it is, and all these things, that they actually cause quite a bit of a ecological mess in the namesake of being, sound. Now, he said that, and immediately now, people are jumping on Mr. Bean.
How could you jump on Mr. Bean?
He's so funny.
So funny.
So again,
even if you don't agree with him, you'd be like, it's Mr. Bean.
Well, it's funny. You didn't want an electric car.
I still don't.
And I remember what you said to me. You said, I don't give a shit about the whales. And
no, didn't say that. Didn't say that.
So, all these, like, if you're not green,
right?
If you even look at something green and say, well, that might not be green, like solar energy, if you knock down 10 forests to build solar panels, and you say, well, that's not a good idea. Well, suddenly you're a bad person. And in actuality, maybe it's a bad idea to deforest an area to put solar panels up.
Right.
Now, so they'll jump on you for that. If on the flip side, you said, I got an idea, let's cover a roof of every Walmart with solar panels And if we do just the roofs of Walmarts and big shopping centers, if we just do the roofs of buildings that are already will generate X amount of power, and then people go, now for Walmart to do that, you're gonna have to give Walmart
some money.
Give them some taste. Give them a taste.
Yeah.
And right away, the other side's going, you're a big corporation side. So what's my point? My point is just follow us.
We can't get along. That's your point.
Well,
it's funny you should say that because one of Sophia's notes was about Trump's indictment and how he's going.
Sophia joking about?
No, she's not joking about it. It was her notes.
Oh, her notes.
Yeah.
Which side of this equation is she on? Is she wearing the tinfoil hat?
You know what? I think Sophia, with her notes, which I appreciate, were right down the line.
She went down the middle.
Just facts, which I like. Because when I like to read the news, I just want to read the facts. I don't want your opinion. I can form my own opinion. I don't need you swaying my opinion either way.
Yeah, if you notice, like I chose a variety of sources from different sides.
Right. See, that's good. That's
what'd she say?
Good journalism. She said she chose a variety of sources from different sides.
That's awesome.
It is.
And so, Sophia, having read everything, what's your opinion? Is the indictment political theater, or is the indictment a legit, real indictment?
This is your podcast, not mine. I don't have an opinion.
She said, "This is your podcast, not mine."
Here we go. Conspiracy of fear. The conspiracy of fear. Sophia will be canceled before she gets out of the blocks. And you know, so you have an opinion either way.
I don't really care that much about this.
That's the other thing. I think that these large issues like this have made people go, I don't care anymore.
I think it's all just like kind of blown up. Like the media kind of blows up stuff like this, and it's not as dramatic as they say it is.
Right.
I agree. That's very insightful. I do agree, but I also what?
No, go ahead.
But I did read that it jumped his poll numbers, so which is crazy. That, I mean, he's now leading in the polls even more. So
in the Republican polls, right?
And yes, in the Republican polls. But I mean,
I was talking to a prominent Democrat this morning, and that prominent Democrat said to me, "No kidding, this is a witch hunt." And I literally had to look back at my phone and go, "Did I inadvertently dial Sophia?" And so, but they think it's a witch hunt. Now, I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
And all I know is, I don't care which side of the equation you're on. It doesn't matter to me. There has to be a better choice than Biden and Trump.
Oh, there has to be. I mean, honestly, how many Americans do we have? 350 million?
Yeah, and almost 100 million of them are legal. Now, that's the thing is that, so what I'm saying is, there's got to be a better choice somewhere. But you only get the choices you're handed.
Right.
It's like going down the candy aisle and your mother goes, you can have black licorice.
I was thinking black licorice.
Or candy corn. And you're like, what? I can't have anything else.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And the candy aisle is delicious.
It is. Well, that was like that one year that I voted for Ross Perot.
Yeah, what a waste of your vote.
I don't care. I didn't like anybody. I think it was my first year I ever voted.
You know what?
So,
I'm going to take back that comment. If enough people did that, we could get, we need more political parties. There needs to be 10 political parties.
You think so?
Yes, hand down. Because
does any country have 10 political parties? That seems a lot. That seems like a lot of diversity, and that seems like a lot of people trying to get.
There's groups, there's countries with more choices. Let me say this to you. All right, virtually every single politician at the federal and state level, almost all of them, including the ones that have no other means of earning money, they're all multimillionaires. Right down the street here, Frank Plone, according to the internet, worth $5 million. Now, $5 million is a lot of money if you only made $140,000 a year for most of your life.
Man.
And especially in New Jersey, all right? So how is that possible?
Well, I think you're being presumptuous that, I mean, what does Mrs. Pallone do?
What did Mrs. Pallone do?
Because Chris Christie's wife,
Mary Pat,
she made boohoo bucks as a lawyer herself.
Right.
She made some crazy cash because they had to say how much she was walking away from her job when he was running for presidency the first time.
Okay, so let's just for a moment say,
is there a Mrs. Pallone?
Mrs. Pallone's name is Cory Booker. Now listen, I can't say whether Frank Pallone's a good or bad guy.
Right.
All right. He's been here forever. But you can take Pallone out. It doesn't matter.
Right.
Mitch McConnell is worth $95 million. $95 million. Now, she made money. Mrs. McConnell made a lot of money. I don't know what she did, but she made a lot of money.
Mrs. McConnell made a lot of money.
Mrs. McConnell. Mm-hmm. We don't know her name. But my point is, do you think that Mrs. McConnell, or let's take that name out of it. Let's not name names.
Yeah.
Do you think that the spouse of a politician who's been there forever has through osmosis or otherwise, no inside dope?
Life is about who you know.
Okay.
Life is about who you know.
So if you have 10 political parties, you could at the very minimum start to disperse the grab bag of money. Disperse the grab bag of money, because that's important, right? And listen, if I ran for president, all kidding aside, hands down, I'm not even joking. This is going to sound terrible. I'm not joking. I would do a 50 time better job because I'm not corrupt. I had an opportunity on the board of ed a couple times to be corrupt. And I told people, no. I got invited to lunch. I told the guy, I haven't talked to you in 21 years. I ain't having lunch with you now.
Right.
Because I'm not going to corrupt myself for that. Now, I think when you get there, Barack Obama right now is worth a couple $100 million, I think. What's Barack Obama worth?
He's worth a lot of money now. But I mean, now I get it, because book deals, speaking, like all of that stuff.
Vic, a couple $100 million? What's he worth?
70 million.
Huh?
70 million.
17?
70.
70. And that's his net worth. He has homes with loans on them because it's smart to have loans on them. 70 million. What was his top salary ever? Top salaried position ever? He was a state senator. That's the answer. His state senator, I'll be leaving here in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Fine.
400,000 was his top earning. What was the? That was 400,000 a year for the presidency.
For the presidency.
So, $3.2 million. Okay, now that might be net of taxes. I don't know. I don't know that answer. I've never been
the president. Right.
No, I have not. And I haven't looked heavily into the pay because I haven't decided I want to do it.
Sure. Makes sense.
But let's just say you netted. Let's say it was a clear, you get $400,000. That's $3.2 million. And in the 8 years since he's been president, he's now worth $70 million.
Right. But I would beg to differ with you that first of all, while it is the president of the United States, I would say it's probably one of the shittiest jobs you could possibly have.
I could tell you that if you told me for 8 years, you don't have to fold a sock. You don't have to take garbage out. You don't have to drive. When you want to go somewhere, there's going to be a spun up helicopter on your front effing lawn.
But the pressure is so much. You have 355 million lives riding on you. And that's not even to say all the lives in other various countries that we have good relationships with.
I have one thing to say to that.
That's a very difficult job.
I have one thing to say to that.
What?
Come on, man. Okay.
Come on.
That's Biden's favorite thing.
Oh.
Listen, Vicki, if you could be president tomorrow.
I would not want it.
Oh, you know what? Would you be Mrs. President? Would you be the first lady?
I mean, obviously, I'm someone that always, I'm here on this podcast, right? And I always stand behind your dreams.
All right. Spin up Stress Factory 1 so I can make it to the doctor on time. So, get the Marines to salute me on the way in.
I would do it, but I just think that, listen, they don't sleep. The stress, every president that has ever been in office, they come out looking horrible. They're
Barack Obama does not look horrible.
Now he looks good, but
George W. did not look horrible.
They both started.
Jimmy Carter lived to 100. Did Jimmy Carter pass away yet? No,
but Jimmy Carter was only in office one term. But they also come out with the grayest hair ever. The stress, Vinny, that stress is. I couldn't even imagine Think about the stress we have just running our household.
This is a much harder thing to run. Much harder.
I disagree.
Listen, I got to go to the doctor. Hey, man, how are you?
Yeah.
You see, we're doing a little broadcast, and the sidewalks are getting done. I apologize for the mess. It was going to look spectacular.
Yeah.
So that's it. That is our entire show today.
That's it.
Here we go again. Our sponsor coming in again. And you'll note that the bottle is open. Okay, we go through a lot of this stuff. Misunderstood Whiskey is amazing. So once again, brought to you by Misunderstood Whiskey. They're our sponsors.
It looks good.
I love this stuff.
Yeah, it looks very good.
I love this stuff. This might be a problem for me, a developing problem. Get it. You'll love it.
All right. Good night.